How are we doing there, boys and girls? Manthis here and welcome back to another video. So today we've got a cool little topic to talk about that could very easily allow you to just quite simply double the amount of gold that you currently have sat in your bags. Now it's going to take a little bit of time and a little bit of effort, but all good gold making tactics should do. Nothing is going to come to you entirely for free, but you know, plan ahead, make some wise investments, and anybody can make a substantial amount of gold with very little time or effort in this. Now, what I should have to say is that I have to give credit where credit is due for this one. This was pointed out to me today on stream, and it in turn was talked about quite recently by TheLazyGoldmaker, so make sure to check him out if you are not subscribed to him already. I'll leave a link down to his channel in the description down below. Now, as we get further into Shadowlands, the content that is presented in Shadowlands becomes less and less worthwhile your time sort of like grinding away at. Let's look at things like the price of the herbs right now is at an all-time low, or is just being tanked into the ground faster than we know what to do with it right now. And even something as profitable as skinning is now at the point where there's like, it's worth less than half what it was just a few weeks ago, which in a lot of people's eyes makes it something that they just don't want to put the time investment into to go out there and either farm all of those mobs or to gather all of those herbs. They just don't want to be doing it anymore. They want to be sitting back a little bit, maybe playing some other aspects of the game, but they don't want their kind of gold making production to completely switch off, because it's always nice every day to kind of open the mailbox and see more gold in there and more auctions that have sold without you actually necessarily needing to have dumped a whole bunch of your own personal real life time into achieving that. So today we're going to look at something that is a wise thing to do from time to time. Now, it's not always going to be something that is going to be super possible on your realms, but what we are going to do is we're going to back this up with some actual solid, you know, statistical data, which will sort of indicate what's going to happen going forward to mean that we can make some gold off this. So today we are going to be talking about a small little item that most of you will be very aware of, by the name of monolite ore. Now you might be asking, well, why are we looking at a material that was super easy to get and is from BFA and in theory nobody cares about? Well, interestingly, people do still care about some of the old materials, and it appears that monolite ore is falling in that category. It has become apparent over the last month or two that there is not many people out in Battle for Azeroth farming up these or any of the materials. Nobody's out there mining, nobody's out there herbing anymore, and it's meaning that the materials that came from BFA, whilst they were in super high availability for a long period of time coming out the end of Battle for Azeroth, they're now starting to, I wouldn't say completely dry up, but there's some interesting things happening because people do still want monolite ore, and we'll talk about exactly why that is in a minute, and we'll work out how we can extrapolate this. But first and foremost, I guess you probably want me to sort of maybe try and prove to you why this is a thing. So we've gone on to the Undermine Journal. If you guys aren't aware what the Undermine Journal is, it's a website where you can track historical data on the prices of all of the items in World of Warcraft, and it presents us with some very helpful information from time to time. Quick search for monolite ore and you'll get a whole bunch of graphs. These graphs mean a whole bunch of things. We're not really interested in the ones specific to our realm so much as what we're interested in is the daily regional summary. This is a really helpful one. It shows you sort of price trends, and what we can see from sort of September 2020 onwards, the quantity of monolite ore was at its all-time highest. Now this is of no surprise. We're coming out the back end of an expansion. Every man and their dog was trying to farm up as much gold as possible to either take it into Shadowlands or for a lot of people to be able to afford the 5 million gold Brutus ore before it disappeared. So people were farming. We had the whole multi-box situation. Supply of these materials was super high. But look what's happened since. Since that point, at an absolute low price of 5 gold 38 region wide, with over 3.5 million of it available, it's trending downwards, and it's actually trending downwards relatively fast at this point. It's now at a point where the value of monolite ore since September last year has gone from being 5 gold a piece to over 10 gold a piece. So its value has technically doubled. Not only has its value doubled, the supply of it available. Now this, don't forget, it's not just one server. This is a regional average. The supply has gone all the way from nearly 3.5 million of it down to now less than 1 million of it. Why is that? Well, firstly, as we said earlier, less people are farming this stuff up now. Secondly, because less people are farming it, less people are posting it. Even the people that probably have a bunch of it in their guild banks are probably not listing it on the auction house right now, simply because they don't believe that it's worth, they don't believe it's going to sell, they don't think it's worthwhile. But what has happened is that the supply is come down to a point where we may start seeing the opportunity to actually really heavily influence the price of this on our servers. So, with that in mind, let's look at what's happening on my realm specifically. Now, your realm is going to differ slightly, but I'm going to give you some sort of advice on how to tread with this. On my realm right now, you can see there's a few thousand monolite ore, and it's sort of bunched at this sort of 10 to 12 gold price. Most of it is 10 to 12 gold. Now, default goblin mentality is, okay, cool, buy it all out, double its price. Cool, that would be the sensible thing to do, right? Surely? Sort of. My approach to this would be, we know that the price is trending down, but what we don't want to do is make it super obvious what's happening to everybody else on our realm. We don't want, if we bought all of this, which is entirely possible to do, we could say reset the price to 50 gold each. We could possibly then hope to sell a bunch of it relatively quickly before the price comes back down. But guess what's going to happen? If we buy all of it and we reset the price to 50 gold, you would be amazed just how much monolite ore turns up seemingly out of nowhere. Two things are going to happen. People are going to see the price of the item is like all of a sudden it's worth loads of gold, so they'll run through their guild banks, they'll pull all of it out, they'll dump it all on the auction house, or alternatively they'll go, oh goody goody, I'll go out and I'll use my druid and I'll farm a bunch of it because it's super worth my time now. If I can only get 10 gold for every piece of Sinvir ore that I'm farming right now, but I can get 50 gold for each piece of monolite ore, and I can fly in Battle for Azeroth currently, that's what people are going to do, and that doesn't really help your case in any way. What you want to do is you want to follow this trend downwards. In this sort of situation, the sensible thing to do would be to just buy the cheap stuff. Don't feel that you need to do anything with it just yet. Just keep buying the cheap stuff, because the quantity and the availability is going down, and you want to let the price naturally rise. If you let the price naturally rise, there will be no sort of shock to the system, and it means eventually in a month or two's time, all of this cheap stuff that you've been buying periodically on a day-by-day basis, you literally, all you have to do is press monolite ore, search once a day, buy out anything that's really, really cheap, being careful not to like overinflate the price too much, and in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks time, I virtually guarantee you that the value of that monolite ore that you buy today will be over double in value. Now, how do we know that this is a thing? Well, it's because monolite ore is still useful. Yes, it is still useful. We did a bit of research. Now, I'm always skeptical when I get given tips like this. I want to know everything before I make an investment, and I would hope that you guys would do the same too. But I wanted to know that, well, if I wanted to buy monolite ore, what would be my reason for wanting to buy it? So the easiest thing to do is actually just go on Wowhead. It's really simple. Search for the item on Wowhead, and you can scroll down and you can see what it's a reagent for. And by this list, you can look through all the things that are crafted, and you can see, or hopefully you'll learn this over time, but you'll see if anything stands out. And there's a couple of things that stand out to me for the purpose of monolite ore, and it's the reinforced chassis and equally the supercharged engine. Now, general rule of thumb, any material that goes into crafting a mount is very likely to hold its value even after an expansion is seemingly the expansion. You can go all the way far as back as like Cataclysm, for example. A lot of the Cataclysm herbs are still really valuable simply because they go into the components to make mounts like the Vial of the Sands. We did a video the other day on some of the 10 mounts that you should have listed up on the auction house at all times, simply because mounts sell, mounts make gold. These two items though, the supercharged engine and the monolite reinforced chassis, each one are using a whole bunch of this monolite ore. 75 for the chassis, 100 for the supercharged engine, so you're looking at 175 monolite ore for every single mount that's created. And you know full well there's people out there that are making these mounts consistently because they're still selling consistently. Mounts always sell. So this is causing, like we said, the supply to decrease, the value of the materials to go up, and is quite simply a dead simple way of spending a little bit of your gold that you've got saved up now on a few items, buy the cheap stuff as and when you see it, put it in a guild bank, wait until the prices come to a point where you're happy to then sell it again, or even quite simply buy the stuff that's 10 gold, relist it for 20 gold, keep it in the market, but as all of the cheap stuff starts to disappear, it's almost guaranteed win for you. And you can do this within seconds on any single server that you play, on any single character that's anywhere near the auction house, and it's a really, really good way to allow you to keep playing the rest of the game, do exactly what you want with your time in the game, but also to make sure that that gold value is constantly going up. So I'll leave you with that, boys and girls. If you liked this sort of video and this sort of style of videos, hit the like button. It certainly helps my channel grow and I highly appreciate it. And if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We post content of gold making nature virtually every day, at least a few times a week, so stick around for that. Hit the little notification bell and YouTube will even tell you when a new video comes out. But I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope that was helpful and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.